What's up, guys? Nick here from Vapor Rage, hanging out in the store today. Kind of had to open, so I'm here by myself, so I figured, you know what, I might as well shoot a video. So we're just going to talk about a few things real quick. And the first thing is, today I'm vaping on my brass Cartel clone. It's the 18650 model tube. The kit does come with a few different tubes. You have for the 18350 and the 18500, and then I got the matching little brass strip tip with the Mephisto atomizer. And the Mephisto is actually pretty nice. I've been using it for a while. It holds quite a bit of juice. So I'm going to go ahead and break this all down and show you a little bit about it. So first of all, the Cartel, when you take the caps off, the Cartel clone, if you can see, is very thick, just like the original Cartel. It's got a lot of weight to it, and it looks nice. It's a solid tube. The top connection, the 510, has your adjustment screws. A lot of mods actually use this kind of connection, whereas you'll use the fatter screw for your connecting to your atomizer, your 510, and then the shorter screw, the smaller one, for making contact with your battery to get rid of the battery rattle. The positive pin, I'm pretty sure both of these pins are actually silver plated. The bottom pin, again, silver plated. It's got a nice spring to it and a nice fat O-ring that helps protect your battery so it doesn't rip them all up and stuff like that as well. On the button, of course, you do see some markings, and mine's already been tarnished a little bit because I've been using it like crazy. But it does have some markings, limited edition and whatnot, just like the original does. But so far I'm really liking the mod. The button hasn't gotten hot, the mod doesn't get hot, no battery rattle as long as the pins are adjusted correctly. And I mean, I've never had any issues with it yet. The Addy that I'm using with it is the Mephisto clone. And the Mephisto is probably one of my favorite atomizers to date. Basically how this works, pull that top cap off. I kind of got like a dark juice right now, so the coils are a little bit dark. But basically you have flathead screws, and I know a lot of people hate them, but if you can tell, the screws are huge. And the post holes are huge. So if you have, 2 or 3 pieces of 22 gauge that you want to put through those post holes, it slides through with no problem. Like literally, the posts are huge. If I didn't have a build in there and I didn't mind ripping mine out, I would show you. But I just built mine yesterday and I don't really want to rip it apart. But I mean, I'll probably put some links to some pictures in the description. I'll take some pictures of it, and so that you guys can see. Also on the Mephisto, you have some slots here. If you turn the atomizer down, you can close that slot off, right? So if you want to do a single coil, so if you turn the top cap here, you'll notice that you can do a single coil, and you see there, and then the other airflow sections are closed off. So you have an option of doing a nice single coil in here, or if you want to do the dual coils like I do, then you just go ahead and turn it to where both air slots are open, and you get plenty of airflow. I mean, like, there's no resistance to it at all. So if you're one of those people that like to have a huge, massive open airflow, the Mephisto is definitely your atomizer for sure. It's even got a little bit more openness than the Stellar. By the way, the juice that I'm dripping today is one of our new lines of e-liquid. It's called Artistry. I just want to briefly discuss at least one of the flavors in this video. This flavor that I'm vaping is called Greek Fire. So here's the label, Greek Fire, and then you'll see here you have the milliliter size, the nicotine strength, the PG-VG ratio, the artist who made it, which is myself, and then some information regarding the nicotine warnings and stuff like that. Greek Fire is a really special e-liquid for me because it's very complex, and it's one of my favorites that I've ever made in the 3 years that I've been making e-liquid. But it is a combination of cinnamon and apple, some like graham cracker in there as well. It kind of is like a cinnamon apple crumble. It's good, and when you're inhaling it, you get that cinnamon, that warm cinnamon. And I know a lot of people, the cinnamon might throw them off, but it's kind of like a bakery cinnamon. It's sweet. It's not like a cinnamon Red Hots that's going to tear your throat apart. It adds a lot of sweetness to the juice, and the apple you'll get as an undertone, as well as like the pie or like the crumble type of flavoring in it as well. The whole idea behind the line Artistry is that we're taking a large number of flavorings, so let's say like 12 flavorings, and we're breaking those all down into one solid flavor. And we're building up layers to that flavor, developing it so that when you're dripping it, you'll get all those different layers. So that's the idea behind Artistry. That's why we named it Artistry, because we think that it takes a true artist to really do something like that with e-liquid. If you're ever in the market for trying out some new juice, go online or come into the store, pick up a bottle of Greek Fire. By the way, this bottle actually is just my everyday bottle. So the bottles that Artistry actually come in are brown amber glass bottles with a glass dripper. I just took it out because I only get the leftovers, because I give you guys all the good stuff. I only get the leftovers, so I just kind of put it in this little plastic bottle for me, for myself for right now. But it comes in a nice bottle, nice label. Definitely, if you're in the market, check it out. There is another flavor too called Knights Templar. We'll talk about that in a different video. They've both been really, really good sellers. Everyone's really liked it. Moving forward, the next mod that we're going to talk about really briefly, the Copper Manhattan clone. So I actually have one because we do carry them in the store, but here it is here. And you see it has the logo, but there's nothing on the button. This is a nice mod. Even being a clone, the quality is amazing. It vapes well, and it has got one hell of a magnet in it. Kind of touches here, if you guys can see how strong that magnet is. But I guess they're rare earth magnets, so they do work really well. I'm going to go ahead and unscrew the button and show you guys the inside of this bad boy. And I do personally own one of these. This one here is just a demo for the store, but I do own one of these, and I do vape it, and I do like it. It vapes really, really well. So first of all, the tube, you see again, we got a thick piece of copper tubing, you know, that adds just a lot of good weight to it. It makes it feel like it's quality. The negative switch, again being a magnetic switch, if you look here, you'll see you have a copper contact, and then you'll see the magnet around the edges here, and the little piece that holds the magnet in. And then when you take the switch apart, there's another magnet inside that repels that switch. The device does not have a locking ring, but it's fine because, again, that button is so stiff. The top connection, again, we have another copper contact, looking all nice and pretty. And then you have your 510 connection here with a little bit of like a divot for whatever reason, just looks, I'm assuming. The connection here does unscrew, so that way you can adjust your addies to sit flush, as well as your batteries to not have a rattle in them either. That's the Copper Manhattan. Again, I do own one and I love it. It's a great mod. The atomizer that I want to talk about that actually looks amazing on this mod is the Plume Veil clone. A lot of people been talking about the Plume Veil. It's supposed to be a game changer. It's a great addy, and it is actually. It's got a lot of different airflow options. You do have a couple pieces that it comes apart in as well. Let me just pull this apart. So first of all, you got a 4-post connection similar to like the Helios atomizer. You have, you know, your 2 positive connections there, so that way it's easier to do your dual coils or quad coils or something like that. Definitely something that's really nice to have. And then you have your bottom chamber and your top chamber. One thing to note about this top chamber is there is a black Delrin insulator inside where your drip tip goes. This is meant to cool off your drip tip so that your drip tip doesn't get too hot when you're vaping on something crazy like a 0.1 build or something like that. This little insulator will help out a lot. Basically, super easy. You just take your little top piece, put it in your bottom piece, and the tolerance is smooth, buttery smooth. It turns really easily without even trying. You can open up for all your airflows holes, so you can see here, you can open it up there, and then you can close it off. You can reopen it. So there's different kinds of settings on here as far as your airflow options are concerned. And also, on the top of the cap, there's 2 little airflow holes there. I'm assuming that those airflow holes are meant to come down and hit the coil, which helps to you know, get a little bit more flavor and a little bit more vapor production. It seems to work very, very well. So then, you put the cap back on. You take a little drip tip. And by the way, the little drip tip does have the little Plume Veil logo on it, and it does come with the Plume Veil if you order from us anyways. I can't speak for other people, but ours do come with the drip tip. So together, the mod looks pretty beastly, pretty amazing. Again, I don't have a build in here. It's just something I wanted to go over with you guys. But I mean, there's a lot of videos, I'm sure, of people vaping on copper Manhattans. It vapes just like any other mod. It's not something that's going to be like a game changer or like a life changer. But it does vape really well. And, you know, if, again, you're one of those guys that like to do super sub-ohm builds, you'll like the Plume Veil and you'll like the copper Manhattan. That is all for you guys today. So I'm going to go edit this video now and go have some fun, and I'm sure customers will be walking in the door any minute. So you guys have a good day. Hope you had a great weekend. And vape on.